What is going on YouTube? Jay here from MJ Tech. Today we're going to be doing here the unboxing and the installation tutorial on the brand new C-Cane head unit that I got for a Honda Accord. This one is a 2005 vehicle, and for 2005 this particular vehicle that we will be installing this to had navigation system from factory. So back in 2005 that was a big thing, and I went ahead and contacted this company C-Cane, in which I have reviewed products for before, and they were nice enough to send me this unit, which is supposed to be a plug and play. So let's go ahead here and complete the quick unboxing. Inside you just get the harnesses. This time I did notice that there's a lot less harnesses here, but hopefully this is everything that we will need. We have the GPS antenna, we have the AC controls harness, we have the radio harness, and some USB cables so that we can connect our phones and whatnot. This one here does have Android 10. It has a 10-inch display, which is a 720p resolution, but the coolest feature, as we have seen from most of the radios that I have installed and shown here in the channel, is that it supports Carplay and Android Auto, which is something that my brother at least was looking forward to. So we get things here like the manuals, nothing special, and just the radio. Check this out. This is that massive 10.2-inch display, I believe it is. All these specs will be left down below so that way you guys can check it out. But here is the unit. You can see that on the back here we had the AC controls, and everything is ready to be plugged and play. So with this being said, let's jump to the car, test it out, and see if this thing really works as intended. Alright guys, so this is the Honda Accord 2005, and this is the radio that I was mentioning before. This one comes with the factory navigation system, so we have to see how easy this will be to install. But I watched a couple of videos on how to take this car apart. I believe that the first thing that needs to come apart is this section here. So for this, I can recommend getting some pry opening tools. Get one of these as well to splice wires and to attach plugs and whatnot. This is recommended. Get yourself a nice little set of screwdrivers, like the really tiny ones. Sometimes you have to push clips and whatnot, so this is also recommended. Almost on every installation that I do for cars, I end up using one of these right here. Get an 8mm socket with the ratchet as well. You will need it later. Get yourself a nice screwdriver as well. Okay, it doesn't have to be electric, but in my case I do have an electric one, as you guys can observe. And yeah, here I have my camera. Let me go ahead and put this back on here. So yes, we have the radio right over here. Let's get started by pulling up here the emergency brake, and just go underneath here and start prying this transmission bezel. That's what I call it. Okay, and then start pulling it little by little. It does take some effort to get it out, and we do have two connections here at the bottom side of this. Okay, so we have to get these two wires out. Should be quite easy to do. So we got the gray one, and then we have a blue one over here. Make sure you guys can see that. So we got this part out. Our next step here is to attach a Phillips head here so that we can remove two Phillips screws that are holding this part here. Okay, they're holding this area here to the car. So let's see if it's in reverse. Yes, it is. You got that removed as well. And there's a couple of videos out there that I've seen in case you guys missed something from here. Our next step is to remove this piece, which comes off with just a flat mini screwdriver. You can use a regular screwdriver as well, it doesn't really matter, but like I said, it's always easier if you guys have one of these. Just take it out, and then inside here you have two more screws. You have 1, on the right here, which I already removed, and then you have another one here towards the left side. So now we simply just pull it out. Okay, we do have 2 screws on here. Set them aside as well. Okay, and then you're gonna have here your cigarette lighter connector. You will have to take that out as well. Let's see, there we go. And now set this aside as well. I'm gonna put all this stuff in the back seat. It makes it a lot easier. And then we had 2 more Phillips right here. You have to take out this compartment, and to do so, you simply pull this out. And I just lost my tip. There we go. Now we take out the other side, like so.
5 minutes later.
Alright guys, so after some struggle, I was able to remove this huge box, which is like super dirty. The reason we had to remove this box is because down here we do have 2 8mm screws. Now they also have the Phillips part of it so that you can use a Phillips screwdriver, but it's always better if you use the 8mm socket. Now what we had to remove next is the upper vent. For this, you're gonna need a pry opening tool and just start popping it out. Again, be extra cautious with this area here because this has suffered a lot with the sun, you know, the heat. It's been a Florida car for a while, so just be careful guys. Okay, so I was able to pry it using this piece right here. I just went along the sides, and first it's going to just lift a little. After you do that, all you got to do is just start popping like in an upward position until all the clips come right off. Now that we got that removed, if you guys look up here, we do have 3 Phillips screws. Let's go ahead and get these removed, and here comes the first one. Now we will do those 2 8mm. That's why we got this socket. Okay, now we grab these 8mm sockets, and then we start making them loose. It gets to a point where you can just remove the socket here and just put it on, and then do it by hand. Alright guys, so with some patience and a little wiggle here and there, the radio is coming right out. Okay, now all we need to pay attention for is the harnesses back here. Okay, we do have a little clip. We might have to get, which I forgot to bring here. There we go, just got that done. Okay, 1. These are the AC wires back here. 2. Then you have another one here, that's 3. We have the FM antenna, and then we have the wires here for the radio. Okay, this one is coming also. We just have 1 more to take out, and that's it. Check that out. You have this massive thing that weighs a lot, and wow, that tells you how technology has evolved guys. But anyways, we got the car fully disassembled.
5 minutes later.
Alrighty guys, so we got everything pretty much connected on this car. Something that I want to mention is that with this particular vehicle, the one that came, or the one that comes with the factory navigation system, well, I didn't need to use this harness, in which in this particular vehicle it was a little confusing because this part connects to this harness right here, which is the one for the AC controls. Just keep that in mind. But then at the same time, I noticed that these 2 are identical to these 2 here. So I was connecting just this one here, actually both of them here, but then having this part of the radio harness that came with the aftermarket one, it was being plugged inside of this one, but it wasn't providing any power to the AC. Like, I was pressing on the buttons and nothing was happening. So then I removed this and then plugged the harnesses directly from the car into the AC controls, and now everything's working fine. The only thing that I'm not getting yet is the data of the AC. Like, when you turn it on, you know, it displays what's your fan speed and all that. Maybe that I need to work on the radio software in order to get it enabled, because we did lose here this little display that is on the upper side of the dash. We lost that. There's no connections to that whatsoever. I'm assuming that one of these harnesses that are not being used was for that with the previous radio, but like I said, we don't have that any longer. What I did notice is that there's a wire that is attached to this harness right here, which is the one that came with the aftermarket radio, in which, by the way, it connects to this blue connector right here. This one came with another wire, which is this orange and green that we see here. It goes connected on the back side of the radio, and then it gets, the other end gets connected here where the AC controls are. You're gonna see it, you can't miss it, it's right there. You simply plug it in, and we still are not getting anything displayed on the radio itself, but I'm pretty sure that with some tweaking on the software we can get it enabled, and that's pretty much everything we need. Everything's working great. I did install the clips. I removed them from the old radio and put them here on the new radio, so that way when we clip it on here, it stays nice and firm. I tested it. Like I said, I turned on the car and everything was working, including the AC. So now we are ready here for reassembly, and then we're going to talk about the radio to see the features, the CarPlay, and all that good stuff. So I did connect it already, the two USB ports. I called my brother and I asked him if he wanted just the one that provides the wire CarPlay, or if he wanted both of them. He said just to put both of them on there. I did connect them here on the rear side of the radio. You guys can see it. I have the main harness, the GPS antenna, and now the GPS here, the antenna, I placed it underneath this piece that we removed. I just put it right underneath it because metal causes interference with it. So this being plastic, I just went ahead and removed the double adhesive, and I placed it on there, ran the wire here, and have it connected on the back side already. And like I said, everything is good to go. Let's get everything reassembled and tested. Alrighty guys, so we got everything reassembled on here. The only reason I had this compartment open right now is because I ran the two USB cables that I told you guys previously. I connected them on the back side. I drilled about a 1-inch hole on the very back of this particular compartment, just so that I could run these wires through, and everything is working great. I have one connected. This is the one for the wire CarPlay. We're going to be seeing that here in just a second. Another thing we did is that we went ahead and programmed the steering wheel remotes, or the buttons. So if I click here on mode, we have navigation, music, video, phone, auxiliary, and then it goes back into the radio, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and set it up here on radio for now. Okay, this is the radio interface, by the way, and everything's working great with the radio. Let me increase the volume here a little bit so that way you guys can hear. Okay, the signal reception is actually perfect. We have a couple stations on here, as you guys can observe, and everything's working excellent.
Vote for which meal should be the official meal of MLB. But first, try them both today.
Okay, so that's going to be for the radio. Now, talking about the steering wheels again, you have a dedicated application or shortcut on here, which is right here, setting wheel. And this is how I set up everything to be. So volume up is going to be this one. So you hold or press and hold, as you guys can see, and then this is going to be your volume up. So basically you press and hold, and then you mark what you want that button to be. This one I set it up for mode, and this is the one that I selected right here. Again, you press and hold, and then you select what you want. The same thing we have for the back, the answer. You can do pretty much anything you want. I just set a few so that way you guys can see what I was talking about. Let's say we are here on the station, and if I click here on the channel plus, you can see that it goes to the next station that has the best reception. Okay, so on and so forth. If I go down, it'll take me back. And so yes, the steering wheels controls are working perfectly well, so I'm very happy about that. Let's go ahead and mute it here real quick. This one came with a built-in microphone, and surprising enough, I didn't have an issue. I tested it a few times with Carplay, and people said that they could hear me fine. To further prove that this car has a working microphone, I will test it here with my mom first. So let's go ahead and give her a quick call. There he goes, ringing.
Hello?
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Does it sound muffled or weird or distorted?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you. Bye.
Okay, God bless you.
Okay, I love you.
Son.
Bye. As I said, we have here things like the navigation, which is using Google Maps. We have the dialer. Okay, this is for Bluetooth as well. So I have my iPhone connected to it, and once again, everything is working great with the Bluetooth connection. We have here the app drawer, and on here we have things like car settings, in which you can change your networks. You have navigation settings, you have reversing settings. This is in case you have a backup camera. In this particular case, we don't have a backup camera yet. We have sleep, then factory. Now for factory, according to the manuals right here, it says that my code is 1617, and I tried that and it doesn't work. Just because I wanted to see if the AC controls can actually come up here. As you guys know, there was one wire. By the way, I just turned on the heater here for the seats. There was one wire in which it was connected directly here into the AC module, and then it went into the screen. So I'm pretty sure that there's something we can do to where all these settings can actually show up here on the screen, but I will need more time to work that. And hopefully if I get it to work, I will make a separate video so that way you guys can see how everything functions. And then we have here more settings, and we have things like display. Okay, you can choose a dark theme. Okay, it says there we go. I just did the dark theme. You can go back into the white theme. So this it all depends on what the owner wants to do, which is my brother. So I'm gonna leave it as the white theme. And we have events. Okay, so we have here second screen output mode, HDMI full screen mode, and these are just more complicated settings. But I would just leave this alone. If you guys don't know what you're doing, just read the manuals and make sure that you do things correctly, because if you damage this, the support is going to be very minimum. Like getting software support is going to be quite hard. So again, if you don't know what you're doing, just leave it alone. Down here we have a few more toggles. We got things here like the radio itself, so that's cool. We got the music app, in which we just saw, so on and so forth. Then here for the settings, again, we already saw car settings. We got themes. Yes, it comes already preloaded with this application. There were two updates that I needed to do. For that, I connected to the hotspot and I got them updated. And the interesting part about this theme that I like is that as you're moving, this little car right here will move as it is GPS powered. It'll move with you, and then you can change if you want it in kilometers or miles per hour. In this case, we use mostly here miles per hour, so that's what I set it up to. And you can customize it to whatever you want. That's very cool. Keep in mind that once again, this is Android 10. Let's go here into settings real quick. Let's go into about device, and let's see if it shows it. By the way, these are all the specifications. We have a quad-core T507 processor, 2 GB of RAM, 32 GB of internal storage. We have Bluetooth 4.2, so on and so forth. But now what I'm looking for here, let's go on more, let's go on system, let's go about, it says about tablet right here, Android 10. And if I tap it a whole bunch of times, we can see that in fact we do have Android 10 on here, which is not too updated and it's not too outdated, if you guys ask me. So that's it for that. Then we have APK installer. This is in case you want applications. Let's say you downloaded something into your computer, an APK file, you can transfer it on here and then you can install it that way, which is really simple. We have auxiliary. This is in case we have accessories connected to the car, then you can check them directly from here. We have Bluetooth, and Bluetooth super simple to connect. We have boot animation. You can change that as well, but you need to download the files for that. Then we have Chrome. We have Easy Connect. It comes preloaded with Facebook, but I would just take that out and re-download it in case you need it. We have File Manager. We have Google Search, the Maps. We have Music, again, the Play Store. I haven't logged in yet. I will leave that to the owner, but yes, we do have a Play Store in which you can download even more applications. It comes preloaded already here with YouTube. You saw already the radio app, and then here we have the iGo navigation. T-Link, this is the one for CarPlay and Android Auto as well. You can do wirelessly for CarPlay, and Android Auto, I believe you have to have it wired. So that's why we have these little USB cables right here, so that we can have it connected either or. So in this case, what I'm going to do right now is turn off here the Bluetooth. Let's see, let's turn off the Bluetooth. It's actually turned off, as you guys can observe. Let's go here into T-Link, and it works very similar to any other Chinese radio with CarPlay feature. So it says waiting. If I plug it in, and you guys can see that it says connecting now. Okay, and there we go. Right now it's currently playing something on here. Let me go ahead and mute it again. Okay, there we go. And so here, of course, we have things like Maps. We have here the Music app. Okay, we have here the dialer, and of course we have the default apps by CarPlay. Okay, now this is one way of doing it, is by again plugging it in. If we unplug it, right here you guys can see that we went back into that same screen. So now what we do here is, if you want it wirelessly, you turn on your Bluetooth settings. Then we go here into settings, we go into Bluetooth, and you have to connect to the one that says Blink XR829. At least for me, that's the name of this Bluetooth. And now it says connecting, or connected, sorry. Now here you guys can see that automatically it read the phone, and boom, right there we can see we don't need any wires whatsoever to have CarPlay functioning well. And again, for Android Auto, you simply connect your Android device into the wire here. You have to just plug in your Android wire here, and it'll read it as well. So again, on that side, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. So yes guys, this is a pretty neat radio. Let me know down below what you think about this particular unit. Very cool. The only thing is that, well, maybe this right here is not the most appealing thing for a lot of people out there, but it doesn't bother me much. I send pictures to my brother, it doesn't bother him much. That was the only little downside. Again, this one came from C-Cane. In case you don't know how to spell it, it is like this, like on the manuals, ccane.com. I will be leaving the link down below. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss future videos like this. Also click on the bell icon so that way you get a notification every time I upload a video like this. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and again subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next one.